Hey everyone, this is Donald the Repentless with another episode of Life of an Inventory Auditor. I went to Saratoga Springs yesterday and I was able to get a couple of minutes worth of usable footage. The rest of it that I tried to film didn't turn out very well, or I hit the wrong button. This the kind of stupid thing that I do. But anyways, before I get to those clips that I was able to get during my trip, I wanted to talk about an issue in inventory. And the reason I'm talking about this issue is because one of the people who went down to Saratoga Springs yesterday was caught batching. I'm not going to give any names or anything and to embarrass the person because I feel bad enough as it is. But if you have worked in or work in the inventory industry, you know what batching is. If you don't, it's basically when you're in the clothing line and you're supposed to scan every item on a rack, but instead you just count like there's 5 items on the rack and you scan the first ticket 5 times. Now, this is a serious enough issue that I've known people who have been fired over batching, and it's not a good idea. And I'm going to give my personal opinion on this. I generally, as a rule, tend to not batch because I consider it kind of lazy, first of all. Excuse me. And it's kind of stupid when you get right down to it. Because you're risking your job to, shave a second or two off of doing an area. And when you think about it, and especially when I thought about it, if you're behind on your APH, then batching really isn't going to save your ass. It's not going to really speed up your count all that much to make it worthwhile. So that's part of the other reason why I don't batch as a general rule. Now, if an item doesn't have a tag and it's the same size as the one next to it and the same color, and that I might scan that barcode twice. In some stores, the store person will have you scan one tag twice because, like I said, it's the same size and same color and same design and so forth. But like I said, it's just not a very good thing to do. Like I said, it's kind of lazy. I have no people, like I said, get fired over it. Kind of repeating myself here, but that's the thing that happens in scanning one tag like that in an auto scan part isn't the only kind of batching that can be done in hard lines. Now, I don't know if you know what a soft line is. If you don't, to basically quote Diane when she was running a cow ranch, soft lines is basically anything that either a person or an animal wears. So mainly clothing and shoes and that kind of thing. Although in some stores do allow you to do quantity on certain items like socks and underwear, where they're generally put out by size. It's generally smalls, mediums, and large. It's same colors and all that stuff. But even then, you have to be careful because customers do have a tendency to change things around. Like they'll get a small off of one peg, realize it's the wrong size, and put it on another peg. So you have to watch out for sizes. So, for example, if you're looking at a row, start off small. You see a small one, and then maybe 2 small ones, and then the next 3 are mediums, for example. You scan the first small one, count those 2, and then you go and you scan the first one of the mediums, and you count those 3. Batching would, in that case, would be scanning the small and counting all 5 as small. Because part of the reason that big retailers do the inventory is not only to find out how much financially they have on hand, but to get a sort of a glimpse of how many of each size, each quantity, each size color, design, and so forth. Because that's all it is. If an inventory taken in one day is just a snapshot of what that company has in their inventory. And they don't necessarily plan their ordering on that. But like I said, it gives them a snapshot of what they have on hand at that moment. Another way of batching is in some stores, like especially grocery stores, some, that do UPC integrity. In grocery stores, particularly when we're scan inventory, where you scan the barcode or the shelf label, and it's UPC integrity in that case as well, would be like, one example I can think of would be scanning one flavor of Kool-Aid and then counting all the rest of the Kool-Aid under that barcode. Excuse me. It kind of defeats the purpose of having the inventory if they're not getting an accurate reflection of what, all the flavors of Kool-Aid or the various varieties of, like, cola. If you, like, start with Pepsi, Pepsi products you have generally together, scanning Pepsi and then counting the Diet Pepsi, the Code Red, the Mountain Dew, and so forth under that one barcode. They don't get that doesn't reflect how many of each variety of Pepsi or each variety of Kool-Aid they have. Same, so that's batching, and it's still a bad thing. It really does kind of defeat the purpose of having like a UPC integrity, or getting every single UPC they have in stock to do that. Like I said, counting all the flavors of Kool-Aid under one barcode. Now, in some stores where it's more financial, or even some scan stores where it's by price point, you can get away with, like, for example, with the Kool-Aid, scanning one and then counting them all, because they're not worried about so much the UPCs they have, but the actual amount of product they have in dollar-wise. So, like I said, that's about all I have to say for batching. Like I said, it's never a good idea, and I've never found it to be faster than doing it the way you're supposed to do it. Like I said, and let's put it this way, when I was counting in the store, I actually saw this person batching, and I really didn't think much about it, at the time, because it's not me. I'm only responsible for what I do, and it didn't actually cross my mind that you get caught. But especially like in the Walmart, they have their crew standing around, ready to answer like SKU checks. But also they watch what you do, because they're trying to get the most accurate inventory that they can possibly get. And batching, like I said, kind of defeats that purpose. It doesn't give them an accurate count. Because if you're talking about, especially like clothing, you could have a dozen items on a rack or more, and none of those, all those 12 items could very well have unique UPCs. So just scanning one tag 12 times doesn't really help for what the company's looking for, what the managers of the inventory the company you're working for, because there's a lot more companies than Regis and With out there doing inventories throughout America, Canada, and so forth. So my basic, it's not a good thing. Like I said, that's it. So, like I said, I was able to get a couple of minutes of usable footage from Saratoga Springs. Now, well, part of it was filmed actually in Midvale, Utah. So, here we go. I'll turn it over to the the video I shot yesterday. It's about 3:45 in the morning. I'm at the parking lot here at Fred Meyer's. Well, not Fred Meyer's, the bank by Fred Meyer's. We're just waiting for the van to arrive to pick us up to take us to, I think it's Saratoga Springs, or it might be American Fork or whatever. But we're going to go to Walmart this morning and count the Walmart. You know, it's just a normal day for Regis. Really don't have that much to say, you know. But like I said, I just wanted to document things on this field vlog. Over there is, you really can't tell from here, but that's Winco over there. Key Bank, it's the Washington Mutual here. I don't know what it's called, but an update later on. Probably break in Utah. Just a quick layer. We're in Midvale. Take a look, just showing you the mountain and the scenery here. Still on the way home from doing the Walmart in Saratoga Springs. But Utah is a pretty beautiful place. I don't want to live here. I wouldn't want to live here. It's way too expensive. But some more of the scenery. And, you know, I'm trying to make this a little longer because I want to get at least, I don't know how many minutes worth of footage. You know, it's interesting. They brought up some people from Texas for this store, and they brought people from Colorado to do this particular store. Now, like, tomorrow is going to be Salt Lake City, and it's going to be interesting. So, I don't know. Like I said, I just wanted to get together a little bit of footage. Well, this is where we stopped right for a second. But over there we have Enterprise, and that's the vehicle we rode up in. It's a nice SUV, and some more of Midvale. So I'm going to stop this one for now. I might do another one when we stop again.